Hello, hello, hello. Wow, I'm all over the place. It's one of those where I looked up and it was 9:27. I was like, "Hey, I got this thing at 9:30. Let's hop to it." Hello. How are you? I feel like I am way far here on the screen. Let's see. I need to go this way. There we go. How's that? Okay. All right, we're getting it, right? Hi you guys. How are you? Are you doing okay? Just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is Live at the Loom. Woohoo! Yay! Very fun. It is our half hour get together each and every Thursday morning. Well, morning for me, not for everyone, I realize. But yes, we get together once a week and we talk about life and weaving and fiber, whatever else comes up. Hello, Laura Miser. Hello, Carrie. How are things in Spain, Carrie? Let us know what is happening there. Hello. So yes, as you come in, say hi. Let me know how you're doing. How last week was. Hello, Maureen. How are you? Hi. I hope you guys are doing really well. We okay. Don't let this sweater fool you. It's supposed to be like in the 70s today, but at the moment it's a little chilly here in the basement. So I was like, okay, we'll roll with it, right? Hello, Jody and Ray. Wow, you guys are coming in droves. I love that. How are you? Let me know what is happening in your corner of the world. And let me just warn you, we have a full agenda. Our dance card is loaded today, so we are gonna go, right? Oh, it's gonna be so fun. Okay, hello, Christy. Carrie says warming up over here. I believe that. So, Carrie, when you say warming up, what does that mean for you? Here we're in, it's all Fahrenheit. We're in the 70s here, which is warmer than usual. But then we're going to drop down to be cooler than usual, which is about right for my area. We tend to experience like winter and summer in this, like we just keep swinging back and forth. Like spring is a weird season for us because we tend to have one day it's in the like high 70s, the next day it's snowing. We had snow just a couple days ago. This craziness. Hello, Gail. She says it's 3:30 here in the UK and it's a lovely, sunny, and reasonably warm. Okay, I'm just gonna make myself a latte while I wait for you to start. Perfect. That is perfect, Gail. We're so happy that you are here. Hi, Sherry, 43 in Elwaka. Elwako? Is it Elwaka? Like an A kind of, or do you say Elwako? But the wind is blowing about 20 miles an hour. Oh, ooh, that'll do it, right? The wind chill. Yeah. Oh, Sherry, we know a few things about wind chill over here. Here's Sherilyn. Nice. Hello, Sherilyn from Maryland. Still working on the tension for the weave along. Excellent. It's 62 this morning, but warming up quickly. 62 sounds pretty sweet, Sherilyn. That's a nice place to be. Yes. Oh, Laura says it's going to be 80 in Cincinnati today. Right? We're supposed to, I don't know if we'll hit 80, but we're supposed to get pretty close. That is for sure. Okay, so speaking of Laura Miser, so last week was a very fun week for me, I have to say. Good morning, Tanya. Because I made a trip down to Cincinnati to see, among all other people, I got to see my friend Laura Miser, who lives in Cincinnati. It was lovely. We had a wonderful time. But one of the main reasons I was down there is that I got to do a tour of Wool House Looms. You guys, it is so cool. And you'll see more. I have more coming for you guys about the fabulous Fiber Artist Supply, aka Wool House Looms, my friends that make fabulous table looms there. So lots of excitement. That was definitely worth the trip. We had a wonderful time. And Tim and Cynthia are just awesome. They're just good peeps. They're good people. That is for sure. Yes. Sherry says, need another cup of coffee. I understand that, my friend. Yes. Hello, Marcia from Weaver's West in Sun City West. Hello, my friend. How are you? Yeah. Okay. So in Spain, Carrie says it's about 80 right now. Our summer is starting, adding about 3 degrees each week. That's going to be hot. I bet that's hot by the time August rolls around, Carrie. Yes, for sure. Ray says we were 90 in West Texas yesterday and cool back down to 74. Better grab a sweater there, Ray, if it's 74. Isn't that funny? I tease my folks are snowbirds, and I tease them all the time because, they it's like your blood thins out. And I totally get it because I lived in the Carolinas for a while and I understand how that happens when you live in a warmer climate and suddenly cool temperatures are harder. They're harder to bear. But pretty much starting about October 1st here, my mom starts shivering. She just starts. She just it's just she's very cold for the last few weeks that they're up in Northwest Indiana. They're ready. That's Florida. Florida has changed them. That is for sure. So, okay, couple things on the horizons for all of us. First of all, tonight we are doing the small group Zoom chat in the Acting Creative Insiders. I'm so excited. This is something that has really started to take off and it's a blast. We have such a good time. I have multiple tiers. I have 4 different tiers in the Acting Creative Insiders membership. And you need to be a rug shuttle tier or ski shuttle tier to participate in the small group Zoom. But everyone who's part of the tier gets to get on Zoom and we get to say hi to each other and show our projects and ask questions. And it's just a wonderful kind of intimate gathering. It's happening at 7:00 Central Time tonight. There is still time if you want to join us. You just have to be part of the rug shuttle tier or up. So come on over to check out the Acting Creative Insiders, the membership. Also, May 1st is barreling down on us. I know, I don't think Sherry's on yet, but she'd be proud of me for bringing it up. So May 1st is the deadline to register to join us at the Midwest Weaving Conference. Yay! It'll be in June. It's right in the middle of June. It's like the 12th through the 17th. Pardon me, that week. And there's still, I believe there's still space in my classes. So if you want to come hang out with me for a while in lovely Des Moines, Iowa, check it out. Deadline is May 1st though. So that, can you believe that's coming up? I cannot believe, the April Weave Along is trucking along and we're having a blast. It's been so much fun, but I can't believe it's almost over. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, my friends. I don't know how you're doing, but I feel like it's going too fast. We need to slow it down. So those are my lovely little announcements coming up for us. Hello, Alex. Yeah. Okay. So Alex gave us a little morning from Texas. Ray is right. It's hot. Yes. I understand. Oh, Carrie said in Spain, where she is, it's about 112 in August. Carrie, I could not do it, my friend. That is just not, nope. And to contrast it all, Carolyn says it snowed in Canada last night. I do love the Canadians. I'd see all my international friends. They're wonderful. I'm so glad you guys are here. So tell me about how your projects are going. I'm very excited to hear how last week went. And I have a little bit of show and tell for you. Hello, Paul from the UK. Hello. I'm going to take a swig and I'll show you. I have a little show and tell. Okay. So, I just conked my knee. Don't you hate it when that happens? Right on the edge of the loom. So, at the end of my April Weave Along project, I had some inches of warp left. And I always like to encourage people to go crazy. Put whatever you've got in there just so you can kind of play with the yarns you have, change the pattern, whatever you feel like doing. Because that is your time when there's no structure. You've done the stuff that you're supposed to do, and now it's time for you to play. And I honestly feel like there are times that I learn more when just playing around than I do in kind of a really organized, step A, step B, yeah. I feel like sometimes when you just kind of throw whatever you have at it and then magically see what happens, there's great things that happen for sure. So I wanted to show you kind of my little bit of play at the end of the weave along. Let's see, which way did this go? It went this way. Okay, so here's the start. This is gonna look familiar to all my April Weave Along friends. So this was just, I had some of the, let's see what my weft is. My weft is a purple. Right here. This is so it's herringbone, lovely herringbone pattern. So I decided I was going to keep the pattern the same and I was going to play with some different yarns that I had. So I had a little bit of kind of a crazy blue in there. And then look at this section right here. Can you see this? I use like the tiniest, it's like sewing thread, friends. It is like the tiniest little yarn. I had some left over, but I just wanted to show you kind of the contrast, which I thought was so interesting, is that if you have a really tiny, I mean, this weft that I'm using here is probably, I don't know, maybe a third of the size of my warp yarns. Look how the pattern looks so different. You can still see the pattern, which is lovely, but it looks so different. Like just the proportions then are so different. Like look at this little yellow spot right there, which is so interesting. So then to follow that up, then I pulled out my 8/4 cotton, which is going to be bigger, and I had a little bit of black, I had a little bit of white, and then I had this weird. Look at this. Okay, so first of all, you see this little section right here, right? Pretty, right? Kind of subdued. I always say, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it has a little bit of kind of a, not muddy. I always think muddy is the word, but it's not in a bad way. Just kind of has kind of a warm kind of feel to it. Look at this green color. Like, would you have ever put? Isn't that wild? I love color. It's just so much fun. But I thought that was just such an interesting little kind of series of different weft yarns to play with that, and how different it looks. Even like to go from this, you know, the top and the bottom there. Just look at the difference there. How crazy is that? Come on. So much fun. Love that. So I wanted to share my little kind of end of the project playground there, and just kind of show you kind of what I'm working on there. So let's see. Jody piped in and she said she's all warped for the April Weave Along. Woo! Deciding on weft colors. Awesome. I love that. Gail says she started weaving her herringbone scarf. Is slow going. I understand that. Hope to have a good long weaving session on Sunday. Gail, you got time. You're doing great, my friend. Just keep up the good work. Yes. All right. What about the rest of you, my friends? How are your projects going? Did you have some time this week to start a project or work in the middle of a project or finish a project? By the way, speaking of finishing projects, I had someone at the very end of last week had asked about the wall hanging. I haven't delivered the wall hanging yet, so I'm going to wait until my client sees the wall hanging and we get it kind of all the last minute things all kind of checked off, and then I'll share the wall hanging. It's beautiful. It turned out really, really nice. There's some quirks, which you knew this because you guys have followed me all along as I was creating it, so you knew there were some quirks happening in the project anyways. So we'll see. I'm hoping to deliver it to my client, I think tomorrow. I think that's gonna be the day. So let me know. Ray, what comes next after your saddle blanket? What tell me about some of your projects that are coming up. I can't wait to share the one that I have on the loom for you because I am weaving, and I gotta be honest, this style of weaving is really one of my favorites. I haven't done it in a while, and I've just had a blast as I start throwing the shuttle. I'm like, oh, I love this. Hello, Jan from Ontario. Go Canadians. Spinning wool for a blanket. Ooh, love that. Excellent. Very nice. I'm so glad you're here. Excellent. So yeah, let me know about how the projects are going. Say hello, all of the good stuff. All right, while you're chewing on that, I'm gonna take another swig and then I'll start to show you what I got going on here. So fun. Okay, so let's see. I have props and things all over the place. So we'll get adjusted. Nobody get seasick here. Let me tilt you down, maybe move you out so you can see what's happening. Okay, so let me give you the background. So this is gonna be a fabric for a bag. I'm probably gonna make, there's probably enough on here for two. That's kind of how I designed it. But I have fabric on here that I'm making for messenger bag. Now, here's what's so much fun about making fabric for messenger bags is it can be sturdy. It can be like bulkier than, it's for a bag. I don't have to worry about it being drapey or light. No, none of that kind of stuff. I can kind of load it up with all the yarns that I want, which makes me very, very happy because I love to play with the colors. All good. So here were my marching orders for this particular project, is that she likes the colors purple, green, orange, and like a mustard. And when she put them in order, like she was like purple and green, and then she didn't think, she's like, maybe a little orange, maybe a little mustard. So I'm kind of going with that kind of like prioritizing the colors per how she gave them to me. So So what I wanted to do is make sure that I had kind of a really interesting warp to start with. Not busy, but just have some really kind of vivid colors. So I have it ended up kind of being Mardi Gras colors. I know a couple of my folks in the April Weave Along are using some Mardi Gras colors, which I think I was subtly influenced by that. You know how that happens? You're just around certain colors. You're like, ooh, I like that. So I have kind of I started a dark green, went to kind of lighter greens, and then went into a series of kind of vivid purples with just a little. This is like a gold color, honestly. And I chose the gold just because I knew I was going to put like a little bit of orange and a little bit of kind of a mustardy. Like I wanted to use some of those kind of sunny colors in the fabric too. And so they would kind of talk to each other, which is something I like to play with. So here's how it goes. First of all, I use is it a rug shuttle? Rug shuttle. Okay, here's the difference. I wonder if I've got it close. Let me see if I can. Oh, hold please. Hang on. So, okay, rag shuttle, rug shuttle. I think I have that right. Right? This one, here's what I found. I bought this one thinking I was buying something like this, and this is really too tall for my shed space for my loom. So I have this lovely one that I just use for demonstration. It's just for comparison. Yeah. Wait, did I do that right? Rag shuttle, rug shuttle. Yes, I always have to think about that. But you can see this one is, my yarn is coming out here. This one is just a smaller profile, slimmer profile, if you will. And it has a solid, this one has an open in the middle. This one has a solid body inside. So I love this guy. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it that long. But what I like to do is take a whole bunch of yarns together. And I made a whole bunch. I mean, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yarns together. And because the whole goal is to make like a really vivid, colorful fabric, I kind of approach it as I want to put together colors that will talk to each other and make sense. So can you see I've got some like dark plums. I have some real vivid kind of not quite a cranberry, but that like really great kind of a little more reddish kind of purple. And then I have one here. Here we go. I have one little, look at this dude. It's got a little sparkle to it. It's a little orange, but not like bright orange, not like construction cone orange. So I put that kind of right into the mix there, because then it gives the fabric a little bit of sparkle, but it also kind of introduces that kind of the orangey colors that I'm going to play with as I get into the fabric. So let's see. Okay, we had a couple comments. Let's see. Carolyn says, looking forward to getting my hands on other yarns to try. For me, I play with just stripes of colors. I seem to need the experience. Carolyn, you are where you are, my friend. You're doing great. Yeah. Oh, Jan, that's a good idea. Jan said to make this loom, take the screws out, and yeah, you're so cute. Okay, I have zero, and I mean zero, like mechanical misfix-it bones in my body, but I do know people that do. So that's a good idea. You're exactly right. I can take the screws out and I can make it shorter. You're exactly right. Thank you, Jan. Okay, it's so funny you should say that, because when I was visiting the Wool House Looms, as I was looking around, here's what I realized very quickly is that I have used looms for 17 plus years now, and I absolutely adore them. I have not once thought about how they're made. Not really. Not with any kind of critical thinking. So to walk around their studio and see all the parts that go into a loom, all the steps and how you have to do it. I mean, so impressive. So impressive. I was just amazed. So anyways, that's so funny. Thank you, Jan. You're exactly right. I could totally make this shorter. Yeah, and I probably should. I'll have someone help me make it shorter. That'd be good. That'd be a good thing, right? Carrie says, so with the weft so thick, would this be a weft face fabric? Oh, nice. Carrie, mostly, yes. How is that? That's a very good. Did you guys see this? Carrie's question is that because my weft is so thick, is it considered a weft face fabric? Mostly, absolutely, yes. Yeah. And I would say, mostly because you're still going to see hints of the warp, just kind of subtle little bits. Like even, let's see here. Let me turn that off so you can see that. Okay, so even can you see kind of like this half looks a little more intense, and this is a little calmer because of the green. So you see a little bit of the warp. But yes, for the most part, you would totally be great to say this is a weft faced fabric. Very nice, very nice. I'm very proud of you. Look at you. Okay, so let's see. I'm just doing plain weave. I am not doing anything crazy. I just like to let it rip. And here's what I'll kind of say is that as you do a project, as you create fabric, I like to always think, what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish by this? Because it doesn't have to be anything crazy. For me, this project is all gonna be about color. That is really my focus. I want it to be vivid. I want it to be fun. I want it to reflect the person who's gonna get the bag. So that is all I'm worried about. I'm not gonna complicate the threading. Like I said, it's just straight draw, plain weave, over under, just like a pot holder. It is just that basic. Because as I go, I'm gonna subtly, little by little, change some of the yarns in my weft, which is gonna make for a really interesting, kind of rich, vibrant fabric. That's the goal. So just keep that in mind as you're weaving. All right, so here we go. Nothing crazy because I'm just starting. By the way, I leave the little ends. We're gonna sew this, so I don't want to tuck it back in and have the extra bulk. So when my fabric will be finished, I'll have all little frayed ends to contend with, which we're just gonna cut it out. So it's no big deal. So that again comes back to the whole think about how you want to use your fabric. Okay, let's see, we'll go this way. The only tricky part about using this kind of shuttle, because you're winding directly onto it, is you constantly have to be aware of how much slack do you need for it to go through and not yank everything into place. And I tend to not pull very hard on my edges for this kind of thing because, like I said, my bag is about, I need about this much for my bag. So I'm going to use basically the whole width. And I don't want to be pulling in so much. With when you have a really chunky weft, you're going to pull in less. So that works in your favor as well. Let's see. Jan says, can you move the camera right up to the fabric? Yeah, Jan, let me, I'll come in close for you. Yes. Yeah. Carrie says, thanks. I'm proud of you too. Good, Carrie. I'm glad you're proud of you. You should be. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay. So this is what it looks like, folks. I am just going to go back and forth, back and forth. Here's what I've learned is that because I'm pulling so many yarns together, on occasion, they don't wind together evenly, if that makes sense. Like the metallic one is a little stickier. So on occasion, like that one didn't do the whole length like the others. So I just leave any kind of extra, I just leave them at the ends because like I said, we're going to cut it out. So any kind of weirdness can just be off to the sides. It's not gonna show up at all. And what's so fun is that the person who's going to get this bag, she's such a kind of, I'll just roll with it kind of person anyways. She's not going to care. This is really about me trying to put together a really nice product for her and to make sure it's something that I quality control kind of things. So let's see, move that over there. Here's part of the beauty of this too. It goes really fast because each pick of the weft is so chunky, you forward it a lot. So that becomes kind of a fun, like I think I put on, I don't know, 4 yards, I bet I put on that much. And it's not gonna take long. It's not gonna take long, which I kind of like too, because then you could just dive right into the next project. Okay. Let me see, yeah, Jan, let me see if I can get our camera gracefully, if I can move it so that you guys can see. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Don't mind me as I talk to everybody. Okay, all right. Everybody hold on. Don't yeah. Let's see. Can you see it better? So that's kind of the idea, is I want to have a whole bunch of colors so that it looks really kind of rich and interesting. I don't know if you can see kind of my little kind of the little shiny bits, which adds just a little something. I mean, it's not going to be sparkly. It's not going to be that kind of fabric, which doesn't sound like me anyways, does it? But it is going to have a little, a little sparkle here and there, which I kind of like that. I think that's just a really fun kind of addition to any fabric, especially like this when you have all the colors. So what I will do then coming up is that when I run out of this particular combination, is that I will take one or two of these yarns out and I'll swap it with something else. And because your eye is going to blend them, it's going to look just a little bit different. Not a lot different, just a little bit different. So little by little, the fabric will change as I weave the whole thing, which is just really fun. So yeah, so that is what's on the loom. Thank you. Laura says she likes that. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So Carrie says, when weaving plans type of mixed weight yarn, how do you decide the ends per inch for the warp? Oh, great question, Carrie. Thank you. Here is my standard for this type of project. I always use the same. I use an 8/4 cotton. This is the rug warp, carpet warp, whatever, because first of all, I've worked with it forever and ever and ever. And I'm very familiar with it. I love all of the colors that I can get with an 8/4 cotton. I set it farther apart than I normally would. I set it at 8 ends per inch because I want to make sure, as we kind of discussed, that my goal is that it's really about, we talked about kind of the weft and the colors. So I set it at 8 ends per inch. Now, I love that you asked this, because part of what happens too is that my fabric is going to be backed. It is going to be, my seamstress starts with iron-on interfacing to hold it all together. So while that may seem like you get loosey-goosey because that seems far apart, it doesn't. She starts right out by putting like a stabilizer on the back of the fabric. That's the very first thing that she does before it's cut out and all of that kind of good stuff. So I love that you asked that. Thank you. Jan says, I was wondering about the yarn twisting. A little bit. There's a little bit of twisting. Not bad though. Not bad. I tend to, I'll see if I can post a picture, but I tend to have like my, my little parade of yarns on the floor, and I stand above it and just kind of keep pulling it up to wind it around. So, not too bad when it comes to the twisting stuff. Christy says lots of pizzazz. Thank you. Thank you. Sherry says, do you wash the fabric first? I don't wash it. Nope. No. And here's why. It's going to be a handbag. So, nope, there's no washing. I don't wash anything. I have tested over and over again, and my handbags, once they're finished, they dry clean beautifully. If you get a stain on it, if something happens, it's dry clean is the way to go. But I decided long ago that it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the risk from a shrinkage and a color bleeding perspective. It's not worth it. And yeah, and I don't worry about it. I know that there's a kind of a strong old school kind of train of thought that says you always have to wet finish stuff. And I don't, you know what? If that suits you, that is fantastic. But I don't think that's true. I don't think you have to, because I'm going to create the fabric that I want it to be right here, and it's going to go straight into a handbag. And you know how handbags go. It's not. Mostly they're not going to get that dirty. They're not going to be up against, you're not going to be sweating on them, all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah. Oh, Sherry, I'll post some. Yeah. That's a good, Sherry asked to see some of the finished pieces. Yes. I'll put up a couple pictures of my finished messenger bags. I'll be honest, I have not done a lot of messenger bags, in the last few years. And, I'm kind of itching to do some more. Now that I don't do art fairs and markets all the time, it's funny how my little priorities have kind of changed. I focus on things like weave-alongs instead of making more messenger bags, which is just kind of fun. Let's see. There we go. Oh, I like that. Carrie says, I think the twisting of the yarn as it goes along with the pick would add to the randomness of the coloring. Yes, yeah, that's a very good point, Carrie, because what happens then is that because I'm just kind of randomly putting them all together, you'll see like a little bit of that little orangey one will kind of pop up and then it'll disappear and it'll pop up. And so I think for me, it makes it look more organic. And I have found that it's pretty hard to make hand woven stuff really look organic, right? Because it's very organized. We have yarns going this way, we have yarns going this way. I mean, it's very organized and structured. So it can be tricky to truly make things look kind of organic. So you're exactly right, Carrie. That's a very good point, is that because the yarns kind of move in relationship to each other, then in the weft, you'll see different things. Yeah, and I'll put up some pictures so you can really get in close and see all the stuff. Yeah, Jody says there are no rules. That's exactly right, Jody. Yes, yeah. It's yeah, you kind of find your structure, like your project, and then just play. I love that. Yeah, Jan says was wondering about the thick and thin. Love the randomness. Yeah, thank you, Jan. That's kind of what I enjoy about it too. Is it's kind of, you know, color first and then some textural things too, which is very cool. Okay, how about we finish strong, shall we? Handwoven experience this week was all about substituting a different sized yarn, and I have to say that it was really inspired by some of the experiences with the weave along, because people got the kit or the instructions, well, the instructions I should say, and they're immediately like, but what if I want to use a different yarn? And I thought, you know, I hadn't really addressed that before, and that'd be a good thing to talk about, just what to consider as you're making decisions about a different yarn. So hopefully that was very helpful and you guys enjoyed that. As I mentioned before, we are right in the meaty part of the April Weave Along, and it has been so much fun. I have to say, I am so I'm really just so impressed with this group this time around. People are really digging in. They're doing all kinds of cool things, and as usual, our little community, the April Weave Along Facebook group, the community is so sweet and so generous. So I just want to applaud everyone for being so wonderful and you know, diving in and participating and cheering everybody on and giving suggestions and being generous with their knowledge, because that really makes all the difference. It really makes it such a special experience. So this week the homework is to weave, which is always the best week right here. Week number 3, that's the one. That's the best week. But of course, as we talked about, the end of April is rushing up to us. So yeah. Let's see what else. Sherry says if there are rules, weavers would break them. I think that's true, Sherry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Karen says, are the yarns more likely to snag with usage? You know what? The floats aren't that big. They're, I mean, a little bit. Sure. I mean, that's always a possibility. But I haven't found not drastically. That's a good question though. I like that, Karen. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Let's see what else we talked about. Active Creative Insiders. Go check that out if you want to join us tonight and get there's all kinds of bonuses that come throughout the month. It's a really good group. And then lastly, if you have not yet signed up for the weekly love notes, you're invited. It's the email community. You can find it on the website. There's a couple different places where you can sign up, or you can get I've got a couple freebies available that you can sign up for, and that will automatically then put you on the list to get the love note from me once a week. And of course, you can always unsubscribe if you're getting too much mail, if it's not your thing, whatever it is. Of course, that is, you know, we're all adults. You do what you need to, of course. But it is fun. Every week I send out a little note that just says, I'm thinking about you and here's what's coming up, just so that you know kind of what is being offered and what you can take advantage of. Okay, man, I told you our agenda was packed today, right? We were like, let's go, people. It was very, very exciting. Let me think. Next Thursday, right back here. Same time, same place, all of the good things. So put me in your calendar for next Thursday at 9:30 Central Time. And I'll probably still be working on this. We'll see. I have some fun social things I'm doing this weekend, so we'll see how much I get to work on. I'll probably still be weaving this project. That's, if I was a betting woman, I would say I'll still be working on this one next week. So join me to see how it's going, because it'll look different for sure. Okay, in the meantime, do something creative this week, right? Throw a shuttle, plan a project, pet your yarn, whatever. Do something that's good for your creative soul, and I will plan to meet you right back here next Thursday morning my time, for live at the Loom. In the meantime, you guys have a wonderful, fabulous week. And of course, happy weaving.